how energy can self-sabotage our existence. And how that mostly happens with people is that they don't pay attention to
Mm.
managing their energy or mastering their energy, or better yet, when we talk about chakras and even in laboratories of science, tuning the frequency to the optimum frequency signature that is necessary for an end result. Whether you're in science or whether you're in sound healing or whether you're doing chakra work, it's all about tuning the frequency for an optimal result. You go to a scientific laboratory and they have all those oscilloscopes and everything. What are they doing? They're observing the frequency. They're measuring that frequency and they're tuning that frequency to observe as feedback what it means or to apply that frequency for a desired end result, right?
Mm.
Same thing with sound healing that you do. You're tuning the frequency to the unique combination of people in the room so that everybody can benefit from that sound healing session. So I think what happens is a lot of people end up self-sabotaging their life because they don't pay attention to what their energy is doing, or they don't pay attention to the feedback of where their energy is at frequency wise, so that they just let the energy do whatever it can. And then it basically blindsides them because they're simply not paying attention or applying tools to optimize their energy.
I love you talk about this frequency. As you know, we last year or a couple years ago,
Yeah.
we're doing this a few weeks the workshop
Yeah.
talk about atomic sound healing. And
Yes.
I'm super fun because I'm the sound healer. I'm training a lot of students how to use the sounds to
Hmm.
optimize the energy. But before we go into next step, talk about more frequency, I want to come back a little bit on Earth. When I say a little bit on Earth, little bit more simple, not too deep. Maybe next step we go to there.
Hmm.
So when I say if some people don't know about the frequency, how do they be not annoying the energy, then be aware, like you said, be a notice what is the energy around their us. How do they can be to understanding the energy? Example,
Hmm.
a lot of people have a challenge and go through every day. Then
Hmm.
when they feel the overwhelming stress, that the
Hmm.
energy, such chaos around that,
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
overwhelming, that physical body can feel your heart beat faster than
Right.
heart breathing, then going on. But
Yeah.
when you're in that stage, we know it's energy different. When I
Hmm.
say when that energy go up, probably you don't have your wisdom anymore because you
Hmm.
are in the chaos energy.
Yeah.
And sometimes not just that, maybe you walk into the group place, you don't know anybody, but you
Right.
can immediately feel, oh, I really attract these people. I want to talk more. And some people you feel, oh, I don't like that person's vibe. That's I think in California, in here we like say the vibe. How is your vibe?
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
mean,
how do
that's
we
just an
aware
explanation.
that?
Yeah.
Then the question come to in that situation when your energy was chaos around you, what do
Hmm.
you do then to bring that calm grounding with
Yeah.
our energy? Talk about the
Yeah.
roots chakra, right?
Right. Right. Unless you're like engaging into, say, what you're doing, Ria, and learning the tools of what to do when life is happening, one of the things that, you could start doing is paying attention to when you feel energized and when you don't feel energized, paying attention to what are the circumstances of activities where you feel energized. So we all know what it means to feel energized. Sometimes we do it through coffee or whatever, like energy drinks, but we know what we're
Sugar
trying to
high.
achieve, huh?
I say even sugar, taking
Yeah, even
energy
sugar, which
go
is
up.
terrible. I mean, but what we're saying, like if you work out, for those of us who get more energized after we work out, well, that's a good thing. When we pay attention to things that we do every single day that bring our energy up, bring our energy down, that's the first step. Just paying attention through your daily living of what energizes you and what depletes you. that will start to give you clues on your unique combination or unique strategies of how to maintain higher levels of energy. Now, a lot of us, because we feel we live through life doing obligatory things. Like obligatory means I'm obligated. Like I feel like I have to do this even though I don't want to do it. Well, that's a good sign that there's something in what you're doing that you feel you have to do or you need to do, and that will be something that you want to remember to don't do too much of because that will bring your frequency down.
Mm.
That will bring your energy down. And it's
Wow.
that simple. I mean, in my world, in our technology, in my company, what we do, we help people see like, oh, what is it your will give you more energy, right? And that will keep you on a higher frequency, which will then allow you to attract more success and happiness in your life. And what specifically will bring your energy down, right? And so what it's that basic, when we first start off, we just pay attention. We just
Yes.
literally pay attention, right?
Yes, definitely. I think pay attention is number one. Since you be aware what is energy around you, just
Right.
like a common area example
Hmm.
that I think happens every day with many people. When you in the morning jump in the car, go to your meetings, go to some place, then there's traffic.
Yeah.
Your energy get up. Oh my God, this is shitty traffic here in my language. Or maybe
Right.
you say, then you get a warning out. Then you start impatient. You start that overwhelming. Then you think about, oh, if I'm late, what it is. Think about all of that. So
Hmm.
be attention, be aware. When you think about all of that, what is your energy is.
Yep. Yeah. And then when you start to pay attention to that, then you'll notice like, yeah, I don't feel so good. My energy is low. Now, in those situations that you're talking about there, sometimes it's you can't avoid it, right?
Yes.
Sometimes traffic just happens. And that's what I'm talking about. Well, what do you do when life happens? A lot of times because human beings have tend to have a very subjective approach to life in order just to survive. In other words, I call human beings meaning-making machines. We make meaning of the situation we're in. And sometimes the self-sabotaging piece is dependent on what meaning you're making of a situation, right? Like if you're in traffic and you're going to be late and you get upset and you bring your energy down, you actually made a choice to create that situation. You've interpreted your situation that you're in to make a meaning of it so that you can trigger something here to bring your frequency and your energy down.
Absolutely. I love what you just said. That is your choice. Because the traffic there is not your choice. And you
Mhm.
cannot control something outside
Right.
you. But you do have a choice and control what inside you. And
Hmm.
it is a moment your energy will go down, you're dragging you down. Be aware how do you can change it. You can
Right.
choose to change that. Then ask maybe do a little bit of humming because humming is vibrate, can
Hmm. Hmm.
shift that chaos energy at some moment, and also
Hmm.
do some breathing exercise. Maybe you think breathing exercise is too long, but what is most affect simple things? We want to give very specific tips for
Yeah.
people there can use when in that situation every day.
Yeah, that's a great thing, and I think we make it simple and we make it easy, and a lot of people say, well, that's easier said than done, and you're right, it is easier said than done. But how do we make things easier? Is we practice it. We consciously practice it. And what you're doing, breath work is absolutely doable. The thing is, we have to change it up a little bit. A lot of times when people say, just take a deep breath, so they go, and now you're hyperventilating. That's not really
Yes,
breath work, right?
that's
And I think
that's a different
there,
breath work
right,
when you
exactly.
up,
You're
go
getting
move your
yourself even
energy
more
shift.
worked up, right? But you're
Yes,
getting a
yes,
lot of oxygen in your system so you can feed that, right? So that's one way of
yes.
doing it. But I think the biggest thing is giving ourselves the ability to pause, right? And even if it's like one cycle of taking a breath in, but not immediately exhaling, take a breath in and you pause at the top. Pause till everything calms and then you exhale. And if you need to do it again, do it again. And that takes no more than 1, 2, 3 seconds, maybe 5 seconds, depending on how you're doing your breath. But in any situation, if you give yourself that ability and that permission to just pause,
Mm.
acknowledge everything that's happening in a moment so that you can have the space to give yourself the space to make a better choice on what meaning you want to make of that moment, right?
I really like that. I wanted to especially address that way when you talk about pause. I think most powerful things people maybe doesn't know that it's not just take a breath in or breath out. It's really powerful moment is the pause. As
Mm-hmm.
you said before, not just breathe in and out when you was driving, but really slowly take a deep inhale, you hold, then you exhale, then before you next inhale, you pause, then take next inhale.
Mm-hmm.
So we call that the box breathing. So like a
Mm-hmm.
four, 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 four
Yeah.
inhale, then four hold, four exhale, four pause,
Yep.
because each step create the gap.
Mm-hmm.
That gap help you calm down your nerve system, calm
Mm-hmm.
down your the fight flight system. That give you the energy recentered, become the calm. Then you can focus a little bit at maybe look, wow, that car color is nice, or that
Mm-hmm.
color is not nice. Instead, still in that traffic,
Right.
the stress. So it's
Right.
really easy if you know how to do it.
Yeah. And again, a lot of people say, well, that's easier said than done. That's not going to work. It's like, well, practice it. We, it just takes practice, right? So that you can eventually do it without thinking about it and create that space out of habit, right? So that you don't dive into low energy, low frequency dynamics and then ultimately, which will impact your ability to make the best decisions. It'll impact your ability to have motivation and energy throughout the day. And there's a whole snowball effect simply by ignoring the simple things that you can do to not go down that slippery slope of self-sabotage, right?
Yes, that is one way how to stop self-sabotage in traffic lights,
Yeah.
traffic time.
I think
And
it I think it applies more than just traffic. Even if you're in the front of someone and you're in the middle of having an argument, right?
yes, yes,
And then before that next response that'll simply just add more fuel to the fire, if you were to just pause, take a deep breath, and then make a choice like, is continuing this in the presence of the other person going to be helpful, or should we table it and take a pause, right? There is something to be said about pause. If we look into nature from one season to the next, during the transition, there's always this palpable pause before the season changes. Nature does it all year long. And there's a reason why. Because in that pause, it gives the ability for everything that's happening in the ecosystem of nature to recalibrate, prepare, so that it can make may do the best strategies moving into the next phase, right? Human beings are no different than that. We just simply have forgotten to give ourselves that momentary pause so that we can, like you said, equalize and manage those frequencies so they're not all jagged and crazy, smooth it out a little bit so that our next steps are more in alignment and more congruent and more, how Hawaiians would say, more pono with everything around us. So,
beautiful, beautiful. Pause is can use any part of your life, any
yeah.
situation in your life. And
Mm-hmm.
also, I want to add one more thing is on here. One more tips is when you are in the traffic. We
Mm-hmm.
come back to traffic. I know where you say it's not everything in the traffic. I wanted to be focused, simplified. Today, give you this tip. You really can use every day when you drive. So when you drive in the traffic, then focus in your physical body. Maybe feel a little bit your seats when you're sitting there. So
Hmm.
that is connect your first ground chakra. That's with. Then when you focus on your body, then you focus the weight. When you focus the little bit, how do you pressure your paddle with you? When you focus all of that physical
Hmm.
things, your energy shift, not just your energy shift, because you focus.
Yeah.
You was from your thoughts
Yeah.
with that energy, then focus with sensation with your body. So
Hmm.
that's bring a lot of groundness.
Yeah. Yeah, and what you're describing there is a great technique to help bring yourself to the present moment. Because the reality is the past has already passed and you can't change it. The future has yet to come, so there's really nothing you can do about that either, right? One of the best ways to recalibrate and kind of like center yourself is bringing yourself to the present. And the way to do that is exactly how you described it. Bring attention to what your body is in touch with the environment around you. In doing so, it forces you to let go of all those thoughts of, okay, if there's traffic and I'm gonna be late, if this happens, you're all the way out in the future. You're not even here anymore, right? Or like if you're using what has happened in the past and then, determining what the future is going to be, now you're in the future and the past all the same, but you're not here. And the only place that we can create palpable change into the future is by being present to what is here now and what is needed now and what you need now in this present moment. Is it to stay in this state of low energy and low frequency dynamics of being upset and angry and whatever the case may be? Or is it to do what you can to get yourself into the most optimal state now so that the next present moment has a better chance of elevating you and keeping you moving forward? Right.
Is that we talk about that is the book talk about power of now.
Oh yeah, Eckhart Tolle. Yeah, the power.
Power of now. Yes, we talk about it's all of this. And second, we and I here. If you listening this, we give the simple tool. That simple tool and resonate with you, and also that simple tool doesn't matter you use and you not use. That happens. It's
Hmm.
around you every day. So I
Yeah,
hope these tips can help you at least make your daily life go up in the morning, driving in the car on the road, that you can aware instead of annoying your energy. That
right,
help you ground it and help you have a peace of the mind move forward.
right. Absolutely.
Thank you.